Clean talk exploded on TikTok back in 2020 or so, with lots of creators just filming themselves in their homes cleaning their house. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see cleaning content, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I never knew this product existed, or wow, that's a really good tip on cleaning certain things around your home. Obviously, I also find that a lot of that type of content can be very almost ASMR like, very relaxing to watch other people clean their home. It's definitely a niche that not everybody is obviously into, but I do enjoy seeing people clean their home and be organized. And sometimes I get tips and tricks from some of these videos. With that being said, there's one creator in particular who has grown exponentially over the years. Her name is Niki. I think she goes by Operation Niki on all of her platforms. And then she's also Niki's side of Clean Talk. Great woman, great person. I've been following her for a couple years now. And I just love her content, and she's been blowing up and she's been doing great things, and she really deserves everything and more. It's interesting because she's kind of been in the hot seat lately with a lot of negative feedback from not only her audience, but just people that don't know her or don't really like to consume that kind of content. And I wanted to talk about that in today's video. It's not just Niki. There are other creators in that niche that probably have been getting the same type of comments. And I think one thing that's definitely true is the bigger you grow on social media, the more people want to talk about you, the more haters that you tend to get. I mean, she's at 7 million right now on TikTok. She has several million over on YouTube and on Instagram as well. So she is killing it. But what comes bigger numbers of followers definitely comes to crazier people just coming out of the woodworks, talking crazy stuff about you. We want to go through this because are the people in the comments right? And saying that she's overconsumption and making people purchase unnecessary things, being wasteful? Or is it just plain and simple as you know, it's her money, she can do whatever she wants with it, she's a great person, leave her alone? So first, I want to discuss the video that she's responding to. So first we'll watch the TikTok of a girl kind of just talking about Niki's content, and then Niki ended up posting a rebuttal. And so I'll talk about that as well.
All right, it's finally time. I need to talk about Niki's side of Clean Talk. I've given her a lot of passes, but her latest video, I couldn't stay silent anymore. She's been very requested for a while now, but her fan base really intimidated me. And just because I do think that she's teaching people like some really good cleaning habits, she's also influencing people to buy a lot of stupid stuff. She seems like such a lovely person. Her house is absolutely gorgeous. Thank God it's so big so that she can store all of her little novelties and gadgets, because there's a lot. But I feel like I've been giving a lot of clean influencers a pass on something that I would drag someone else for. And her latest video absolutely sent me. Like, are we just ignoring this because we like her? We can like someone and still question their behavior. If any other influencer posted themselves throwing away this much food, the comments would be very different. I'm not saying don't throw food away. We all do it. You know, things go bad. When you're standing in your custom pantry, throwing away probably hundreds of dollars of groceries, a lot of people aren't gonna love that because so many people cannot afford groceries right now, especially when your platform influences how people consume. And another thing, you know what makes things go stale faster? Taking them from their original container and putting them into a different clear plastic container. So yeah, the food waste is super disappointing, but the consumerism I have to talk about. She is the aesthetic clear plastic container final boss. And does anyone else not see that her dress matches her trash can? She says that she's not over consuming because all of these things make her happy. Chasing that dopamine hit of purchasing something new should not be the source of your happiness. We gotta find other ways to cope. Of course, she has the little fruit and veggie speaker. I'm sure it's linked on her Amazon storefront. Are we supposed to scrub each egg individually? Because I have not been doing that. I get why people look up to her. This is very inspiring. She's so organized. She's healthy, she's clean, she's bougie, but some of the stuff that she promotes is so consumerism final boss, and you can't tell me otherwise. All right.
Okay, so a couple things that I wanted to touch on in this girl's post, and then we'll move on to Niki's response. I will say that Nikki is not the first person to post content like this, to post content where everything is in a container, everything is a little extra. Is she being extra? To me, yes. There are some products that she uses and buys that I just don't think would be necessary. Can shopping become an addiction? Most certainly. And anything that you find that you can't live without is an issue. It can be an issue. I mean, addiction can look different in everyone. Not to say that she has a shopping addiction, but it is possible. And so do I think, like I said, so a lot of the things are completely unnecessary that she not only purchases but promotes. And for the over consumerism police, yes, I can see why she gets some of the comments that she does, because there are a lot of things that there's a lot of things that people create out there that just causes you to have more stuff. I'm the type of person that I wouldn't say that I'm very minimalistic, and I'm not, trying to buy everything that I see, but I do like to keep things organized. I like when, I know where to go when I'm looking for something specific, because nothing irritates me more when I'm looking for something and I can't find it because it's a clutter bug, right? A clutter mess everywhere. So that alone, I think, is helpful. But, she's also just kind of most of the time just showing herself cleaning, and putting things into containers, buying a ton of groceries. This particular video, she was talking about how she threw out a bunch of food in her pantry. I mean, let's be real. How many of us have thrown away food that has gone bad? A lot of us have. So just because she has a major platform doesn't necessarily mean we need to tear her down because she threw out old food in her pantry and other people are struggling to put food on their table. We don't know what she does behind closed doors. She could easily be donating a lot of food. She might donate her money, her time, to different food banks. We don't know like not everything that needs to be posted on social media to tell people that you're doing all these things. So we don't know what she does, obviously, in her personal life. None of us know her personally. And so while I do find that some of the points that the girl made were accurate, at the same time, I do think people are getting annoyed with her, with Nikki, I should say, over the fact that she threw out old food. And it's like all of us have thrown out old food. It's not that big of a deal to me. But I think at the same time, you should take things with a grain of salt. There are maybe a few things where I'm like, oh, I was in the market for a really good cleaner for an oven. And if she showcases a cleaner for an oven, and it looks great and it made her oven come out squeaky clean, I'm probably going to go buy it. But am I going to buy a little container that she keeps all of her Q-tips in? No, probably not, because I don't feel like I need that. So I think also with the argument of being like, oh, her audience, she's promoting all these products for her audience to purchase. And while I think affiliate marketing is a great way to make money as an income for a creator, at the same time, you as a consumer have the power of free will to decide whether or not you're going to buy something. I'm not going to let a creator convince me to buy something most of the time. And unless I know that this is something I have been researching and wanting to buy anyway, and then I end up using their code or something like that. So some interesting points, but I don't entirely agree. I also don't entirely disagree. Some of the comments under Lindsay's video were interesting, of course. The first person commented, said, wait till you see Kat Ben. I follow Katherine Benson as well. I would not say that their content is exactly the same. Kat mostly just posts like cleaning videos, taking care of her dogs, cleaning her son's room, things like that. But I wouldn't consider hers to be as overconsumptuous compared to Nikki. And I love Catherine, and she shows her personality and all the things. So I didn't find that comment very relevant. One girl said, I did recently unfollow her due to the overconsumption and waste. It's just not appealing. And one thing I will say too is we live in a different climate than we lived in 2020 and 2021, where a lot of people are struggling to put food on the table and to just purchase basic necessities. And so sometimes people like to hold a lot of these creators with millions of followers to this high standard because they're like, read the room. A lot of us are struggling and you're over here just buying unnecessary crap. But at the same time, Nikki has worked so hard for where she has gotten to today, and she can spend her money however she wants to. If she doesn't feel like it's an issue, then obviously she's going to ignore the negative haters and all the comments and stuff. So, but I think some people are moving into a different wave of reevaluating their spending habits, realizing like, okay, I don't need a bunch of containers for all the things. And a lot of people have moved away from following creators who promote overconsumption. One other person said, let's be real, her content is one big ad. And I think with that comment, I think a lot of people are kind of tired of just constantly being thrown ads in your face, which I totally get it because we see commercials all the time. We've got these streaming platforms that make you pay extra to not have ads. So I get that to a certain extent, but either way, at the end of the day, you as a consumer can decide whether or not you want to purchase something, and people can live their lives however they want to. There's no room for us to really judge how people spend their money and their time. So then Niki went on to post a response to Lindsay's video. So let's go ahead and play that as
I did not expect my last video to get so much hate. What I thought was a good life decision turned me into a wasteful villain who doesn't care about the less fortunate. So I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself to my new followers. My name is Niki. I really love to clean and organize. And last year, my father passed away. And that devastation put so much into perspective for me. I decided to start taking my health seriously, both mentally and physically. And I've lost 70 pounds so far. My hubby and kids are also on this journey with me. My son, he's also lost 70 pounds. And we decided to remove food from our pantry that would hinder our weight loss progress. That made a lot of people mad. And I understand because there are people struggling that can't afford groceries. But my day one followers know I care deeply about the well-being of others because I was once less fortunate myself. Just a few months ago, I made blessing bags for a domestic violence women's shelter. My love language is acts of service on the giving end. My besties know I'm always giving back. Not that I have anything to prove, but I just want my newbies to get to know me a little better. Let's pack up the unopened items that I didn't throw away and get them to those who need them.
Now, did Niki have to post a rebuttal? Of course not. She could have easily just been like, whatever, people are just going to talk about me regardless. But she went a step further and wanted to silence the haters, the people that like don't know her personally, and the things that she's been through. And it's amazing that her and her family are taking their health more seriously. And she even went a step further and showed herself donating a lot of the food that she was trying to get rid of out of her pantry. And she obviously did not have to do that, but I think she did that because she wanted to silence a lot of the people that were messaging her in her DMs. And yeah, the comments on this one were also kind of interesting. One person said, this feels very performative to me. Someone else said, you don't owe them an explanation. God bless you. That's exactly what I said. A lot of the comments are still pretty negative. A lot of people were like, I don't believe you. You shouldn't have posted this. This was very performative. You still threw out food. I think what comes with a larger platform, when you have a lot of millions of people following you, you're just going to get a lot more negative comments than somebody that has a smaller amount of followers. It is what it is. I pray that she doesn't allow this to get to her, because I know it can be really tough listening and looking at negative comments on your videos, and it can make you probably second guess posting content. So Niki then, after she posted that video, shortly after Lindsay's video came out, she actually just posted another TikTok about a week ago talking about this same video. So I don't know if she posted another rebuttal to try to silence the haters again because she's just getting a lot of hate. I'm not exactly sure, but let me play this one for you guys.
Besties, I've been just minding my type A, clean girl, organized, self-care obsessed business. And I stumble across this young lady talking grade A trash about me. Now I'm confused because I'm over here just unproblematically doing me, right? And she's saying I'm wasteful, overconsumptuous, and I have a lot of weird, unnecessary things. And my question is, unnecessary to who? Because nothing goes to waste in this house. I have 5 members of my family, and things get used up, okay? Anyway, smack talking sister girl was upset because last month I threw away some open food in my pantry. Now I told everyone that me and my family are on a weight loss mission. I've lost 70 pounds. My son has lost 72 pounds. My daughter has lost almost 30. And we've had to make some changes conducive to our current, more healthy lifestyle. Now she completely failed to mention in her video that piece of information and that all the unopened food was going to be donated to people in need. And they were. Now I am not mad at homegirl whatsoever. She's trying to get her views just like all of us. So I send her nothing but love and I wish her nothing but the best. But at a time where cortisol, adrenaline, and nervous systems are at an all-time high, I'm going to keep encouraging my besties however I can that self-care is filling up the cup that you pour from. Love you.
The theme of this video, compared to the other one that I just posted, was self-care. She looks at buying a lot of these things, unnecessary things. To some people, that is necessary for her. She looks at it as self-care. Again, we can't really tell her how she can spend her money. Do I think some of the things are unnecessary? Most definitely. But, you know, I'm not nowhere near making the amount of money that she is, so she can do whatever she wants. The comments on this one did not disappoint. Someone said, I mean, you do have a lot of unnecessary stuff, but like, that's why I watch. Same. One other person that got kind of a lot of likes on this comment said, two things can be true at once. You're influencing people to buy unnecessary things just to skip a step. However, it's your life and it's your money and you're allowed to. Agreed. At the end of the day, if the Lord has told you and blessed you in a certain way to use your platform in a certain way, then we can't really argue with that, right? So those are my thoughts. Let me know down below if you are team overconsumption, you don't want to follow people like that anymore, or if you're, you know, living a bit more modestly, or if you don't care about the overconsumption and you just follow people for the heck of it. Let me know down below. I would love to chat, and I will see y'all in my next video. Have a blessed day.